Are you hearing what I'm preaching over the megaphone, though?
I'm hearing.
Oh, okay, so I'm not preaching to the choir. If the people are at peace with the fact that your pastor approved of the evil action of Jeff Leach to kill a bill that would have abolished abortion in Texas.
No, but there probably ought to be. No, I'm not happy with this last legislative session at all.
Okay.
For a lot of reasons.
And the guy who killed the bill goes to your church. You know that, Jeff Leach?
He didn't kill it by himself.
Well, he had a great amount of power, and I believe he was the guy who could really get it through, who had a lot of influence to get it through, but he didn't. He actually opposed it. He actually made it so that it couldn't go forward. So that's a big problem.
We're talking about the bill that let's see, how was that worded?
HB 896, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It was called.
How was it? I do remember that we did successfully, the legislature, thank goodness, did succeed in stopping any state funding to, like Planned Parenthood.
Well, that's pathetic because their job is to actually establish the law of God in the law, and they failed to establish equal protection for all humans in the state of Texas, and they've rebelled against God by not doing that, because that's their job.
And the reality is, any state, by using Article 10 of the Constitution, has the right to. Abortion is not a law. The right to abortion is not a law.
Right.
It's just a ruling of the Supreme Court.
Right.
Any state can refuse to do that. Totally refuse.
Right. That's what we fight for. We're abolitionists, so we tell people we should just defy the Supreme Court. We should just defy the federal government and establish state sovereignty and establish the law of God in our state and make it illegal to murder people. But Jeff Leach, who goes to your church, didn't do that when he could have. He could have fought for that, but he didn't. He actually opposed that, and your pastor approved of that. So that's a really big problem.
I can assure you, we have one of those. I can assure you that neither Jeff Leach nor our pastor in any form approves of any type of abortion.
Well, they do, because Jeff Leach killed the bill that would have abolished abortion in Texas, sir.
All I can promise you is there's more to it than that. And I can't just sit here and give you the quote of the legal ramifications of it. I don't know.
Well,
I can tell you from the pulpit, Dr. Jack Graham totally opposes abortion on any level.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't oppose it on any level because he actually approved of what Jeff Leach did.
Oh no.
Yes. Just go to your pastor, ask him, hey, did you think what Jeff Leach did was a good thing when he killed the bill to abolish abortion in Texas? Ask him that. Just look into it. But there's a lot of pro-life legislators who say that they're for the unborn, but they continue to regulate abortion, like the thing that you brought up about stopping funding to Planned Parenthood. They will create these incremental laws that tell people when, where, and how they can murder children, and that's not righteous.
I agree with that. I agree that I hate, for a conversation, we'll say Republicans and Democrats. I hate to use that, but we'll just say that for the time being. Republicans don't take strong stands like Democrats do. Abortionists it's all or none with them. And if those of us that are pro-life and conservative would become more that way, we could end some of this stuff.
Well, the thing is, we have to adhere to God's law. Anything less than God's law is disobedience. So the pro-life movement has continued to rebel against God's law by refusing to criminalize abortion as murder in the states, and so the pro-life legislators of Texas are guilty of that.
I totally agree.
And Jeff Leach goes to your church, and he's one of those legislators. So you need to tell him, hey, next time you have to get this bill passed. You got to do whatever you can to pass this bill and not oppose it.
I promise you this: I will find out the details.
Okay.
And I will tell Jeff Leach personally.
Good.
Because I totally agree with what you're saying.
Good.
I just want to ask him what his thoughts are.
Yeah.
And I can promise you, our pastor is
we all agree that
as much as you are against abortion.
What does your pastor teach about? Does he teach you about hormonal birth control? Because hormonal birth control has the ability to prevent implantation and kill embryonic children, and I'm thinking it's likely there's a lot of people here where there's thousands of people. There's probably a lot of people here who are actually using hormonal birth control. Does he preach against that? Does he say this can kill children?
I've been thinking lately about this birth control pill. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that can be a form of hormonal birth control. There's different kinds.
I'm wondering if that's not even killing a baby before.
It does have the ability to do that. And so, like, if Jack Graham isn't preaching about how to fight that, that's a problem. And like, there's this whole thing called in vitro fertilization that's killing a bunch of embryonic children. Does Jack Graham teach people about that and exhort people to take action against that in any way?
I don't know the answer to that one.
Okay,
I do know the answer to abortion.
Yeah. So the fact that you don't know the answer is means that he hasn't actually been doing it, because you would have known, right? Because you go here and you listen to him preach, right?
No, he doesn't spend. This is probably the most, let me rephrase that, probably as evangelical a church, bringing more people to faith in Christ, as many as any place that you will find. But that doesn't excuse not taking stands for life.
Right.
That by itself.
Yeah.
But I can promise you, this church, we have one of the biggest, my wife volunteers at our pregnancy center. And at that pregnancy center, the ladies, the girls that come in, they're usually young girls.
Yeah.
That come in a little pregnant, and they come in every day. And we have counselors there, to have them keep their child.
That's good.
If they're abortion minded, they're older and smart. So that as they come through, my wife's an RN nurse. She does the actual pregnancy test.
Yeah.
So she knows if this person's abortion minded. And so they begin counseling that person differently from someone that wants to keep their child.
Yeah, there's a lot of churches who will support that kind of thing and get involved in that kind of thing. That's good. But we have to do so much more than that. People need to live their lives like children are actually getting mass murdered. There's thousands upon thousands of people who go to Baptist churches in this area, but where were they yesterday when they were mass murdering children at killing facilities, or at least one killing facility in this area?
We can't be everywhere.
No, but we need to prioritize where we are, right? And when they're mass murdering children, we need to be there. That's a big priority. And does your pastor say, hey, everybody, we need to show up by the thousands to the killing facility, Whole Women's Health in Fort Worth, to shut it down, to get out there and save these babies? Does he say that? I'm guessing he probably doesn't.
But let's say where you find our focus. Your focus at this point in time, and I applaud you for it. Your focus is on abolition of abortion.
Yeah.
And I applaud that.
And it's not just legislative, it's holistic.
I understand. And I can't. I teach 2 retirement homes. I can't be everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
You've chosen where you're standing for the Lord. I'm chosen where I'm standing for the Lord. Together, and that's what's called the body of Christ. We have different gifts, we have different callings. Right now, you're using a prophetic gift. You're calling the church to respond.
Right.
I applaud that.
Okay.
I applaud that. But we can't all be everywhere.
No, we
doing what you think is the priority for the day.
We should. Yes, we all can't be everywhere at once, but we do all have different gifts and talents, and I think we should come together and use those different gifts and talents to focus on different things together, to fight different things together, and spend time and resources according to the level of need. So there's different needs in our community, so we should work together to fight the different problems in our community and to meet the different needs according to the level of need. So we need to prioritize. So when we know that there's an entire culture that thinks it's okay to mass murder children, and we know when and where they're mass murdering children, all of us need to spend a good deal of time getting involved in that, because we know that's what's needed, and that's that should be a big priority for each of us, right?
Your mission and ministry call. I thank you for doing that.
And you're also called to it as well. You're called to love your preborn neighbor as yourself, because you need to think about how would you live your life if they were mass murdering born children?
That's going to support that cause.
Okay, yes, but we need more than your money. The thing is, sir, there's so many people. There's so many people who do what you do and they give money, but we need more than that. We need different actions, special actions that are different, and a lot of people need to do that.
You'll find that's okay. I've tried to be kind to you, and I appreciate the same in return.
I'm not being unkind to you.
No, but you're thinking that everybody should be doing what you're called to do. And everybody can't be where you are and where you're called to be.
I'm not saying everybody needs to do exactly what I'm doing, but I'm saying a lot more people need to be doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
And so,
we're not all called to do the same exact thing. Some of us have different streams.
And the thing is, think about, would you live your life differently if they were mass murdering born people in this community? Because there's a lot of people who don't live their lives like children are actually getting mass murdered. They're not taking the actions they would take if they were born children.
We're on the same page. And I mean, are you here right now instead of at an abortion clinic?
Well, the abortion facilities are not open right now, I don't believe. They're likely not open. They're not usually open on Sundays, and I need to get people involved in the fight, right?
But you get what I'm talking about. You've chosen to bring your fight to recruit.
Okay, thank you.
And
I need to do that. We need people in the battlefield.
And that's a choice that you make.
Yeah.
To spend your time right now, right this minute. That's how you're spending your time.
Yeah.
I applaud that.
Yeah, and think about, this is so much more than needy women.
I want you to learn to encourage others that are doing other things to build up the body of Christ.
Well, I come across the same thing over and over again, and that same thing is, I donate to a pregnancy center. And so I'm saying, yes, a lot of people do that, but we need more than that, because IVF is not addressed by a pregnancy center, and that's killing tons of children.
Do you get any reflection
Let me get a photo
of
of
not
Mr.
being
Maine here.
extremely pro-life? Is there any reflection in me of not being extremely pro-life?
Well, I believe you're extremely pro-life, but I don't know if you're an abolitionist. An abolitionist is different than a pro-lifer.
I'm an abolitionist.
So an abolitionist just seeks to do things biblically, and they don't ever support pro-life legislation that regulates murder. Pro-lifers do.
I
Okay. And abolitionists try to live consistently and try to live their lives the same way they would if born people were being mass murdered. And I think I think you might do more than just donate to an organization if it was born people getting mass murdered, right?
And my wife is there on the front line.
That's great.
With those people.
That's great.
So,
but what are you? But I encourage you to do more than donate.
We're on the same team.
Well,
I came here to worship the Lord that made us both and gave us both freedom in Christ, and so I'm going to go do that. So I applaud you, and I thank you.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you should talk to Jeff Leach and your pastor.
I will.
Awesome.